Linfield captain David Jeffrey received the trophy, and the Gold Cup was on its way back to Windsor Park for a record 30th time. It was a time to celebrate, yet for the fans it had been a scrappy final, with most of the highlights supplied by Linfield. Kamal, good ball player. Deep cross, Baxter in there, and they go! Good ball from O'Boyle. Doran on the break. The fullback going all the way. Straight at Keenan. And that's O'Boyle putting it just past. Alan McCann, the ball in. Marty McGee. And he wasn't too far away. 5 minutes into the second half came the only goal from a penalty. Long ball, O'Boyle could get in there. Is it a penalty? And the Portadown players furious with that decision. But referee Irvine, no mistake at all. 5 minutes into the second half then. The boos come up from the Portadown supporters. Lindsay McKeown, 1-0. Forward by Burrows. Baxter trying to win it. Gives the touch to Sid Burrows. Is it two? It's not. Good goalkeeping by Mickey Keenan. Davidson. The long cross. Here comes Dunlop. He's lost it. And Marty McGee almost in there. In the dying minutes, Portadown's night of disappointment was complete when fullback Ian Curlis was sent off after the foul on Kamal. So the night and the trophy belong to Linfield and manager Roy Coyle. After a scoreless first half, Linfield scored first in 56 minutes. Martin McGahey flicked on a George Dunlop clearance, and as Glenavon watched, Sam Kamal nipped in with the header. 6 minutes later, it was two. Paul Mooney found Tony Coley, and a superb through ball left Stephen Baxter with time and space to pick his spot. The Blues got their third in 77 minutes. George O'Boyle cleverly left Baxter in the clear, and once again the big striker was cool with the finish. Glenavon's goal came 7 minutes from the end. Stephen McBride's cross caused problems and was eventually touched in by Jeff Ferris. But the Blues were through by 3-1 and into a Big Two final.
Defeating Linfield 2-1 at the Oval in the final, thus recording their second senior trophy success of the season. It was to be the end of an unbeaten 21-match run for Linfield, and almost 10,000 spectators witnessed an uncompromising battle as Belfast Big Two met for the first time this season. No fewer than 5 players were booked, and some of the Glentoran supporters did their club's image nothing but harm by their disgraceful attitude towards Linfield's 2 coloured players, Sam Kamal and Tony Coley, and their behaviour clearly embarrassed the Glentoran players themselves. Linfield pressure produced a goal after 19 minutes. The cross from the right was only half cleared by Alan Patterson. Martin McGahey lobbed it goalward again, and it was Paul Mooney who gave Linfield the lead. The Glens equalised midway through the second half. They forced Linfield to concede a corner, and Jim Cleary's well-placed centre was volleyed by Gary McCartney. The winning goal came a mere 4 minutes from the end of the game and was scored almost incredibly by the Glentoran goalkeeper Alan Patterson. The seemingly innocuous clearance, to the utter dismay of the Linfield crowd, bounced over the head of the unfortunate George Dunlop and into the Linfield net. It's the second time this season that this has happened to Dunlop, so the Northern Ireland international's reaction was fairly understandable. He has asked not to be considered for Saturday's game against Portadown, and he'll be talking to the Linfield manager Roy Coyle about his future with the club.
Straight from the restart, Tom Cleland's cross and Gary McCartney put the Glens 1-up. But the joy was brief. 7 minutes later, Linfield equalised. McGahey's header and Colley did the rest. And from that point on, Linfield had taken command, and they piled on the pressure. 2 goals by George O'Boyle finished off the Glens. Both were headers. First a corner by Sid Burrows, and O'Boyle with a free header just a couple of yards out, and 2-1 to Linfield. O'Boyle set up the next one for himself. His pass found Doherty on the right, and then the cross over to the far post, and George O'Boyle in there to make it 3-1 for Linfield. The Glens did get another goal towards the end. Gary Hillis the scorer. But victory to Linfield by 3-2, and they go 6 points clear at the top of the Irish League table. So Linfield are well placed at the halfway stage.
First goal came in 13 minutes. The long ball wasn't cleared, and Stephen Baxter punished the mistake with a superb volley. Just before half-time, it was 2-0. Good vision from Lee Docherty as he found Sid Burrows on the left. The winger delivered the cross, and Paul Mooney planted the header past Bobby Brown. The Blues got their third in the dying minutes. Burrows' cross, nodded down by Baxter, and Martin McGahey, well, he rarely misses those. 3-0 to Linfield.
Their first-round Irish Cup bogey with a 3-1 win at the Showgrounds. Well-deserved it was, and this Alan Dornan effort was just one of many chances. Burrows' chip here led to vociferous penalty claims, but McGahey, playing to the whistle, didn't trouble Jim Platt. It was that sort of day for the usually accurate McGahey. He missed 8 good opportunities, a variety of rising shots, and shots that just weren't hit in the manner to which we have become accustomed from buckets of Linfield. How he may have regretted it, because Coleraine took the lead against the run of play in the 38th minute. Jerry Mullen, who scored in 3 of the last 4 Irish Cup finals for Glentoran, made it 1-0. The lead lasted 6 minutes, and unmarked Stephen Baxter equalised just before half-time. Linfield maintained the dominance in the second period. This time McGahey strikes accurately and well, but Platt saves. The Blues' second goal was a corner kick away. Jeff Spears climbed well, and the criss-crossing McGahey and O'Boyle confused Platt, and the ball rolled into the net. Coleraine didn't create too much more, but here Mullen forces a good save from Philip McGahey. At the other end, the family misfortunes continued for his brother Martin. This time the post denied the big international centre forward. Coleraine did have 2 chances to equalise in the dying minutes. Wade was the man on both occasions. Down to 10 men, they still tried to press forward as the Blue men whistled furiously for full time. But victory was sealed by, yes, he did it eventually, Martin McGahey, the post on his side this time. So it finished Linfield 3, Coleraine 1, and a relieved McGahey enjoyed the celebration of what had been a frustrating act.
The red jerseys took a 1-goal lead into the second half. Jeff Spears had scored in the 3rd minute, and Linfield continued to dominate. A good save by Robbie Beck from Martin McGahey. But Linfield increased their lead in the 66th minute. Out came Beck, missed the ball, so did McGahey, but Sid Burrows was there right on target. Then 4 minutes from time, McGahey got himself on the score sheet. Picked up a nice return pass from Darren Coyle, beat 2 defenders and the goalkeeper. 3-0 for Linfield.
It was Glentoran's first cup defeat since 1984, and it was on the cards from early on, with Roy Coyle's side dominant throughout. It was a brilliant all-round team performance, with Glentoran always playing second fiddle. In fact, the Glen's best period was early in the game, when McCartney went close with a header, and then Totten saw his flick cleared by Dornan. Linfield went in front after 30 minutes. It all began with McKeown before O'Boyle's persistence set up Stephen Baxter, and he swept the ball home past Patterson. In the second half, Linfield were always in control, and their second goal was inevitable. It came in the 67th minute. O'Boyle again was the man who provided the cross, and McGahey was there to head home his 22nd goal of the season. A superb effort. 7 minutes from the end came that goal from Tony Coley, one of the best seen in the Irish League for several years, and worthy of winning any cup. It was a sheer delight for the huge crowd at the Oval. A long clearance from keeper Dunlop, the good approach work by Linfield, and then came a quite superb shot. There's no doubt he was pleased. With 10 minutes left, Glentoran's day of misery was complete. Andy Matheson was sent off for a foul on Lindsay McKeown. So Linfield go marching on, and on this form it's difficult to see who's going to